Hey everybody, it's your old pal Brian Hunt, and welcome to episode number 9 of 60 Seconds of Risk. Today we're going to delve into an insurance policy and specifically what's covered in the policy by either adding endorsements or adding exclusions. And specifically, as you know, a insurance policy is a written contract between you, the insured, and the insurance carrier. You're paying premium to the insurance carrier to have that risk transferred off your own personal balance sheet or your own company's balance sheet. You're asking the carrier to take that risk off of you and transfer it by paying a premium. Most policies are sort of standard in the sense they come from a standard policy that's used by most carriers and is acknowledged within the industry. But a policy can be customized or be made specific to your needs by having an insurance policy and adding an endorsement, basically adding coverage specific to your policy. And as you might think, the more positives, the more endorsements you have on your policy, the broader and better your coverage. The flip side is that if the carrier is not willing to take on a specific risk or is going to try to preclude you from doing certain things, then they're going to add an exclusion to your policy. And the more exclusions you add to your policy, the less things will be covered if something goes wrong. Now think about this. Think about it this sense, like if you had a builder's risk policy and you wanted to have windstorm coverage, the exclusion could remove windstorm coverage off the policy, so therefore you would not get coverage if something, a windstorm, or let's say a named storm came through and hit your project during the course of construction. Now, however, I want you to go back and think about your basic algebra. A negative times a negative is a positive. And so what that means, you can have an exclusion added to your policy, but an exclusion that's added directly to the exclusion therefore becomes, by nature, an endorsement. And what does that really mean? Think about it this way. Let's think you had an exclusion added to your policy that prevented you from getting named stored coverage on a builder's risk policy. But let's say specifically an exclusion was added to the exclusion that excluded Gulf states from that exclusion. So basically the policy would therefore be saying you don't have windstorm coverage or named storm coverage. However, if it happens in the Gulf states, we'll remove it from coverage. So therefore a negative times a negative becomes a positive. So that's why it's clear you need to understand the policy. You need to read it. You specifically understand what's covered and what's not covered. And if it doesn't meet your needs, you need to go ahead and get an either endorsement added, or if you see there are exclusions on it, you want to make sure the best you can to get those exclusions removed from your policy. So hopefully this has been helpful. Once again, if you wish to see another topic or individual added on these interviews, please let me know. Happy to have it. Add that comment to the bottom of my LinkedIn post. You can also subscribe to my channel on YouTube to find these videos. You can also find me on Twitter. Until next week, this has been Brian Hunt with 60 Seconds of Risk. Talk to you soon.